you put up a facade that you are one way, and you attract these people, and then you start to peel back those layers, and they don't receive it well.
Right.
Whose fault is it?
Right.
I think when you stand firm in who you are, you'll attract the people that are supposed to be in your life. I'm Aiah.
I'm Javada.
It's your girl, Naj.
It's your girl, Taylor. You are now listening to the Girlfriends Podcast. Today, we are going to talk about relationships. I wanted to bring up this topic because I'm tired of motherfucking dating. Ooh. I am 27 years old. Oh, wait, no, shit, I'm 26.
God, keep adding age to yourself.
Almost.
It's
almost
coming.
27.
It's coming. And so I was inspired for us to have this conversation because I am overwhelmed with dating. And I'm single. Aiah is not. Javada is single.
That's a $2 bill.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to talk to the ladies and to you guys about how we are, I guess, not necessarily dealing with it, but what the state of our relationship is, as far as if we're dating or if we feel as if we shouldn't talk to anybody, or just how things are going for us, so that the viewers can just become a little bit more intimate with you guys and personable.
And maybe we can offer some advice for those who are single and kind of trying to navigate that lifestyle.
I'm like professional single.
Okay.
She's
a professional bachelorette. Okay.
I'm here today to get advice. I don't have any to give at the fuck all.
Okay.
Honestly, it's not that I can't dig down into my toolbox and find some, but if anything, I'm not at a hopeless space, but I'm tiptoe to being there. So if anything, I kind of wanted to hear what you guys had to say today. First, I'm going to talk about where I'm at as far as my dating life. So right now, I guess I'm dating someone, but I'm not even sure. I don't really know what you call it.
Are you still in like the getting to know them phase?
Yeah, getting to know phase. And so I think I'm struggling with the uncertainty as far as the unknown, which I think a lot of us, I'm sure, have been down that road before. Right now, I'm scared that things may not work because I'm so used to past patterns of things not working. Mm-hmm. And I haven't met too many people that I was really, really like compatible with or felt like they were the one, but this person I really like. So I don't know. I'm scared.
Of what?
I'm scared that it may not work. So like, for example, if like he communicates with me, like if he doesn't respond and stuff.
So what?
I know. So like, I know,
so
but
what?
So my whole thing is, she's saying so what, but everyone can't have that. Everyone isn't necessarily built that way, or something.
It's taking time.
So do you want to speak on how you got in there? Because that's what I'm saying. I'm not exactly where you're at. Like, it's not that I can't be that way, because I can be hella like, you know, cutthroat.
These niggas is my bitches. I don't fucking care.
Pretty much. Like, I'm not the sweet innocent person, like the most sweet innocent person. But when it's someone that I really like, you know, it's kind of challenging for me to not be like, I'm not saying that they're giving me bullshit, but it's just
from
past
not
to be such a pussy.
How do you cope with that, Javada? How do you navigate singleness without feeling hopeless or kind of becoming discouraged with the dating life?
Because, well, you know me, I get irritated really easily. And I don't like to be irritated. So I think, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I used to shame myself for a lot of my dating ideologies and habits, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm great. So I don't really like fuck with a lot of people. I think now, especially starting this mystic journey, like when I first started on this, before I got, you know, educated and deep in like I am now, the first ask I made was, hey, I want to make meaningful relationships. Like, from this point out in the rest of my life, that is what I've put out to the universe, and that's what I'm trying to attract to myself. So, with that being said, I kind of had to, you know, get outside of my body, my human self, and realize, okay, meaningful relationships don't have to be platonic. They don't have to be romantic. You know, there's different things like that. So, as I'm dating people, I don't know that I'm necessarily like dating with intention on the romantic side, because I feel like that's gonna come. You know, I will towards that every day. That's a lifelong goal. So that's always what we're working towards. But for now, the intention that I'm dating people with is, can this person have a meaningful relationship or a meaningful influence in my life? Whether it's platonic or romantic, whether that ebbs and flows and changes. Like, I'm single. And when I meet someone who, there are criteria for me to commit to you. That's just the way that is.
Yeah.
And you know, as someone comes along and I feel like it's someone who could fit what I'm looking for in a partner, then maybe we'll explore that option. But until then, I don't want to go in it with the intentions of, oh, I want to date you to get engaged and to do this. Like, no, I feel like I want to get the best out of you that I can get. And I want to be around people that can get the best out of me. So at this point, ebb and flow, whatever, what I'm going to do is be me. Unapologetically. Like, it's not my intention to be mean to you or upset you, but sometimes I'm mean and sometimes I'm upsetting. You know, that's just the way it is. But if you can deal with that and you can work with that and you can work with me, then we can keep going. And, you know, as those dynamics change, the chips will fall as they may, but no pressure. All I want is meaningful relationships, no matter what that means.
I think that's beautiful that you know exactly, you know, what you want. And honestly, I do too. Ultimately, I feel like everyone has a different approach.
Yeah.
And if you know yourself, I know myself, therefore I could not take that approach. I'm not really well with dating people. Let's just say if I try to date, let's say talk to 3 different guys, I'm gonna have feelings for one more than another.
That's fine.
I'm gonna start focusing
That's
on one more.
natural.
So
That's fine.
But so I go about things with more of an objective or more of a goal. And so it's not to say that I haven't tried to ease up on that a little bit as far as being more patient and just looking at the person as a person. But really quick,
Can I say something?
Yeah, I got something too, girl, because like I hear you, but I don't at the same time.
So I get what you're saying, and what I took from what Javada said was that the important thing is standing firm in who you are,
Right.
and then allowing that kind of, I won't say revolving door, but door for people to come into your life, and each person may have a meaning, but not kind of saying, okay, this person who comes into my life, he has to be my boyfriend, or this person who comes into my life, they have to be my friend, but not kind of like assigning roles before you really get to explore the dynamic of your relationship,
Right.
and just kind of allowing things to fall into place naturally.
Right.
So you may meet somebody, but I mean, it's okay to, like she says, to set the intention of, I want to have a meaningful relationship, or I want to date with intent, but not confining yourself to that ideal so much that you let it ruin the relationships that come into your life.
Right, because you're not moving naturally, or
Right.
you're going, focusing towards this thing, or like you're so fixated on this one thing that you forget that there's all these other beautiful options out there.
Right.
And you miss out on meaningful connections because you're so hell-bent on, oh, I'm looking for a husband. Like, he'll come.
Yeah.
If you're supposed to have him, he will come.
He will come.
So just live your life, bitch.
like I feel like the way I presented myself in the beginning, saying, you know, I'm scared, things like that, making it seem as if I don't know what to do.
It's okay to be vulnerable.
No, it is.
To be, you know, afraid to be vulnerable, because
Yeah.
of course, the more vulnerable you are,
The more susceptible
the more
you are.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
To getting hurt. So it's normal. It's human to kind of have those concerns and be afraid, but you cannot let it
Hinder you.
stifle you. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that that's a big piece that a lot of people miss. They're so worried about being vulnerable and exposing who they are because we live in a society that teaches you to hate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they don't want to show people who they are. And that's
Right.
why you end up in these failed relationships, because you're putting on this version of who you think this person is going to
Right.
like. And then once those layers start peeling back, you're like, oh, fuck, I don't actually like this person because I don't know who they
Exactly.
really are. So
That is
fuck that. This is going to be what you get. Like, I'm going to be a bitch. I'm going to talk shit. But do you love me? Like, do you love me at the end of the day? Do you still want to put up with me? Okay, so be irritated for a couple minutes and then let that shit go.
And then let's move on.
And if you can't move on from it, then we don't need to have a relationship.
I was talking
Period.
to my friend the other day, and she was just saying niggas think they want me. Like, they think they want her.
They like
too.
the idea.
Yeah, the idea. She was like, but they probably gonna hate me.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you see an image or you see a girl that's beautiful and you start to think she's this way. But yeah, so I don't struggle in those areas as far as being who I am and just, like, not sugarcoating anything. So I really appreciate you too.
But I guess my thing is, like, you don't hide who you are, but at the same time, like you just said, you're afraid of being vulnerable. So are you really showing who you are?
In a way,
never said I was afraid of being vulnerable. I said I was a little.
So what are you afraid of?
I said that I was a little afraid or unsure, just like uncertainty as far as things not working, because that's like past experience, but that's something that I have to overcome and heal from. You know how you went through things, so
but
it's
doesn't that
easy for us
translate
to.
into your vulnerability?
I mean, I think vulnerability, but it depends on exactly what areas of vulnerability, because if you look at it deeper, like I can be very vulnerable to an extent, as far as expressing how I feel, telling someone like I like them, and to the extent of how I like them and things like that. So I think my vulnerability is appropriate depending on the situation and the timing of the relationship.
I don't know. It seems like you're like overly assessing the situation and things like that. Like my vulnerability depends on the situation. Like, nah, girl, just be you. Just be.
No, I am. I was just answering you guys' question. You asked me. You said that I said I wasn't, or it seemed as if I was struggling with vulnerability, and I'm saying I'm not as a whole. That's all.
Okay. No problem.
But preach.
Okay.
Okay.
And so I think for the pro tip for right now is just being comfortable in yourself and being yourself, because you being 100% to people you meet will it'll make it easier to filter out the people who are really for you and who aren't. Because if you put up a facade that you are one way and you attract these people, and then you start to peel back those layers and they don't receive it well, whose fault is it?
Right.
I think when you stand firm in who you are, you'll attract the people that are supposed to be in your life.
I think relationships are very special.
They are. They're unique.
All of them.
I was born to love.
Everyone was.
I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't know if everyone knows that.
Everyone was.
But I feel like everyone isn't aware. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
I used to.
You took that bitch.
Yeah.
She was like,
Put it right back.
You gotta protect valuable things.
So yeah, we're talking about relationships, and these lovely ladies gave me some great advice, because I was expressing to them that I was having some hesitation when it comes to dating, as far as thinking that it's not gonna work because of past experiences. And more so because I'm feeling somebody right now, but you know,
and she's scared. She's scared.
But
she really, really like him. That's why.
But see, if
that
it was
is always scary.
It's
You
like,
aggravating.
don't hurt me.
It's scary.
What did B Simone do? She was like, come here, give it, right? Come here, go away. I feel like that's kind of how you're feeling right now.
It is, and so I love that we're having this like organic conversation.
Yeah.
It's real.
Because I haven't felt this way in a while. Because before this person, I was really like, what is that?
Alicia Keys doing.
I caught it now. Before this person, I was just like chop, like bye. Not even
like that.
And even for when Javada was speaking on like, because I even thought like maybe they could just be a cool person just to. I don't need any more friends. Like, I mean, if they're valuable, not asset, but if they bring great things to the table as far as personality, yeah, I'm always open to have male friends. But the people from the past and recent, like, guys are really weird nowadays.
No, men are just trash overall.
Like, really.
It's so crazy how you can love a certain type of person, but you can also openly acknowledge that they're trash.
Well, because I just think about like, and I was talking to Lauren, Guy Lauren, about this. We'll have to have him sit in. He's a little low-key low.
Bring him in.
But I was telling him, I was like, as much as I hate men and they get on my nerves, like, I find it very important to have male energy around, because I think it's just a part of the balance with the divine feminine and divine masculine. Like, and even to this day too, like even as we talk about relationships and stuff like that too, like how you said, you don't need any more male friends. I'm like, you know what?
That's why
I don't know. Like, so my male best friend, Chase, hate you but love you. So I think about like our friendship. I've been knowing this nigga almost 10 years now, which is insane. But we had a period of maybe like a year and some change where like I didn't really talk to him like that every day. And I think it was kind of around time I was maybe trying to date people and like find these other relationships, and it was just like not working out. And then now I sit back and I think about it, like Chase is probably as important to me as like my female friends.
Right.
As far like, but he like because he's a man, like no one irritates me like he
More
does.
like you. Oh, I could say that about Chris. If you're watching this, you already know.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about my close friend Tyler right now. We haven't spoken in like a week or so. But yeah, like sometimes he really like gets under my skin, but at the same time I identify that we're very similar. So in certain things, certain ways. So that's why I'm like, okay. So I've learned a lot from having male friends. I love having male friends, but I don't think they can handle being my friend.
I think what you're saying is the people
Some
who
men don't know how to be platonic.
Yeah,
I feel
say
like
the ones who you're like, I could be cool with, clearly they want something more. So it's like, it's
I think
not
that
working.
men really do struggle with the platonic thing because, like, I know for me, like, even as I'll go out, y'all know I'm a social butterfly, but as I meet, like, guys and I'll, like, hit it off with them and be like, yeah, let's be friends. And I'm like, nah, nigga, really, let's be friends.
And then it becomes a thing of...
And then I don't want to talk to you. But I hold that on the niggas, like, I set the intentions. I said what I did. You thought you heard something else. Just like men want to trip and be like, oh, I told you wasn't my girl, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I told you I wanted to be friends. So what's up?
But that's what I admired about Aisha Fans. She made the comment about how she feels like the friend zone is... She thinks it's disgusting how men feel like, oh, I have to be in the friend zone. It's like, no, if she doesn't want anything more with you outside of a platonic relationship, you shouldn't think of it as a friend zone. Like, oh, I'm just patiently waiting for that opportunity to slide in and become more. Like, no, if you're a friend, you are just a friend.
That's what you're saying. I thought you were saying they should wait for the opportunity to slide in, but
no, she was saying it's kind of disgusting that men kind of like sit and pray, and it's kind of like they're waiting for that moment to jump out.
I have been a victim of that before. My ex-boyfriend, I think.
Oh, I know.
Recently, what really?
Girl, and he needs shit. Put it on wax. I said.
Put it on wax.
I said.
I'm so done.
I am weak. I love the shit that you have to say. Like, it's always cute. I was gonna say, like, you guys, well, you know, I had a close guy friend. I'm not gonna say his name, and I think I mentioned him to you before, but I'll tell you later after this. But pretty much too, like, we dated a long time ago, but I mean, I really forgot about the shit, like, really. So we became really great friends. I really thought we were friends. Like, I sometimes know that I could be naive, but I really didn't think I was being naive in this situation, and we've been homies. And then, like, I want to say, like, 4 weeks ago, maybe, it's almost been a month, he hit me up and was just like, Taylor, and I was like, what's up? And he was like, I want to fuck you, or I want to have sex with you. And I was just like, ew. And I said all these emojis. It's not that he's ill, but just the approach to, like, why do you feel that comfortable? And, like,
well, I don't know. Well, I can see how you could take it that way, but at the same time, like, I don't know, for me, like, the word fluidity comes into my mind right now, like, as far as fluidity with relationships and sexuality and stuff. I think that if people explored that more, there would be less tension.
As far as being more open to what they wanted, like, as far as being more expressive.
Just being more fluid in general, because, like, I just sit back and I think about it, like, Chase would never, like, present that to me. But, well, no, I'll tell you, it's like this, like, because sex is different for some people. So, like, for some people, it's physical. You know, it's just physical intimacy. It's that thing. For some people, it's an emotional thing. And there's a well, sex is 75% psychological, right? Right. So if your friend has this relationship with you and you guys connect on a mental level, and he finds you physically attractive, I could see where he could say he wants to have sex with you.
Yes, it's normal. It's not like it's far-fetched, but at the same time, I guess for me more so it was unexpected. And when I look at you as a friend, it's like me looking at you as a friend. Right. So if you text me, I'd just be like confused. Like, so if anything, it came from a space of more of being confused.
You were caught off guard.
Totally.
Which is fine.
And then trying to have an understanding of it, he was just against it and was just like, nah. Like, I could tell his feelings were hurt.
Men, like, and this is like my problem with men, like, and this is my problem with dealing with men, like, baby, you're gonna have to communicate. Like, I know you have been raised in a society where you're told not to communicate and express, but this is my world, not the real world. So when you in my bubble, you're in my world. In my world, we communicate and we talk about stuff, whether it's pleasant, whether it's difficult. We're gonna have to talk about it, because you can't move on or heal or accept anything that you don't understand. And the only way we can understand it, or I can understand you, is for you to flap them gums, baby. So you're gonna have to talk to me.
I love that. And I think I want to kind of piggyback on your point of fluidity and seeking to understand, because like I was saying before, I had a conversation with Taylor about how things aren't always storybook. And I think a lot of people have it set in their mind that if there is kind of like an issue with communication, or things aren't checking off of your list in terms of your process, that it's suddenly not worth moving forward with someone in a relationship, whether it is platonic, romantic, whatever. So I was telling her, like, I had a conversation with my boyfriend, and I was like, you know, there was something that had occurred, and I made a comment to him, and I was like, you know, maybe they don't like the fact that we don't have like a storybook relationship. And he made a profound statement and was like, but honestly, who does?
Right.
And that set in, and I was like,
everybody's storybook is different.
So right. And everybody's storybook isn't what we see in the movies. I think a lot of times people expect to find your high school sweetheart and, you know, get married after college or whatever the case may be, or, you know, whatever we see on movies, in books, whatever. And that's not the case. I can tell you wholeheartedly, honestly, I'm going to put it out on the table for those who are kind of like struggling, navigating their singleness, or, you know, figuring out what they want to do in a relationship. I definitely didn't have a storybook relationship. At one point and just a disclaimer, we've been together for like over 3 years now, but we started off kind of weird. Like, we met each other, things were great, we hit it off, but I had just gotten out of a bad relationship, so I wasn't really wanting to explore, but then I caught feelings. So it was weird, and then I kind of got possessive because I'm a Scorpio, and then when things weren't happening the way I wanted it to, I decided to check out completely. So like maybe 9 months into us dating, getting to know each other, whatever, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna focus on myself in school. And for 3 months, we did not communicate like that outside of my random outbursts, because I was still lurking. like I said, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I was still lurking, trying to figure out what he was doing, and it was upsetting me to see that, like, okay, he's trying to move on, and it's like, but bitch, you're the one who cut him off, so what do you expect? Long story short, we end up making back up, but he kind of started setting the rules, and he was like, okay, like, I'm open to us, you know, kind of picking back up, but I do want us to start fresh and start as friends. That was hard for me because
you've already developed these feelings.
I developed these feelings, and like, even though we had 3 months off, I came back like, okay, what's up? I'm ready now. I am ready.
Very
Take
selfish.
Me. It was selfish.
I think she's also used to driving the boat.
I am.
And yeah, that was just a like kicker for you.
It was a reality check for sure, but I mean, it was okay because I was traveling like that next year. For half of the year I was gone. I was in Paris, and then I went to LA, but he came and visited me in LA, and I think that was when it became real. I was like, okay, so we flew some miles for a bitch. Yes, he came across the country for your girl. So like, that's when like I was like, okay, like, this is really real. Like, okay, even though we didn't talk to each other for those 3 months, I think it was necessary. Yeah. So from that point on, like, we maybe took maybe a couple more months, because me and Taylor even made a video. I'm taking it down before you bitches find it on YouTube. We made a video, and I had said something along the lines of like, I'm not sure if I'm in a situationship.
That's okay. That was the past.
But you know what? The point of that is, you know, like a month later, we became official. We've been great ever since. Of course, there have been like ups and downs, but that's our relationships. But I think the point I'm trying to make is, like I said, it wasn't storybook, and just kind of allowing that fluidity, and kind of allowing, like Javada said, to just ebb and flow through relationships and finding your place. Like, us doing that and being open to that allowed us to establish a really healthy relationship. So don't limit yourself with these crazy standards that you set, because I guarantee you God will tell you, like, I'm driving the boat.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I think too,
that's a fact.
More so if you know you have a connection with someone, because my fear also came from not specifically with this person, but just overall, that I don't settle. As in, I am patient and see where things are gonna go, but at the same time, I don't settle with like, oh, it's been 5 months. Like, okay, what are we doing? So like, I won't say so much of the whole sign thing, but I think it has a lot to do with my nature too. I'm very controlling in a sense, and I need to know where we're going, what time. What are we doing? So
you're very type A.
Very type A. So I move that way in everything. So when it comes to a relationship, that plays a lot on that and how I respond and react to things. But I'm very aware. So with me being aware, I'm working on it. It's not that I'm just aware and I'm like, this is gonna be me, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm actually trying to work on it, but it's a struggle when you're set up that way to be that type of person.
I mean, but coming from someone who was that way, who feels the need to control everything, I think when you encounter someone who, like you said, kind of is a little more domineering than you are,
or someone
or someone you're just truly open to exploring a relationship with, I think that will change, because it definitely changed for me. I can appreciate someone he's a Pisces, so he's like the go with the flow type of person. And I think,
that's something else.
But that taught me to just kind of relax and like let things happen organically and not set like timelines. Like, okay, by this time you need to do this, and by that time. So I think just like with growth, you'll relieve yourself of
and
that.
people, I'm not as controlling as it seems, honestly. Like, I'm really not.
She's a sweetheart. Like, I'm telling you, once you have her heart, like, she's putty in your hands.
I'm always in my head.
But don't take advantage, because I will cut you.
Hey.
Okay.
We're gonna wrap it up. I love this conversation. So tune in next time with us. We hope you enjoyed this conversation. Give us your feedback, like, comment, subscribe, and if you're listening here at 72.9 The Voice, have a lovely rest of your day.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's show. Catch the Girlfriends podcast every Saturday at 11 a.m. here on 72.9 The Voice.
I'm going ham like a pig in a blanket. Done with the recipe like plankton. Over with drumming with the focus he thinking. Nigga oil with the focus he drinking. I heard OG come and spank him. You can get smoked like a dank.